Hello everybody and welcome back to Crusader Kings, where we are currently in a situation where we need to do a little bit of investment here and also work on control. Like over here it's going to be a while because of our lackluster administration. We do have a 3.4% chance of removing the county corruption. Can we increase that at all? No. No, we can't. This is the best guy we've got. Okay, let's go ahead and bump this up to speed 4 for the time being. We're going to need to build up some cash. How long until we can extort our subjects? A while is the answer. Now, I have noticed a potential opportunity here. That opportunity is that there is this situation here, where her heir is, in fact, this guy. Now, an interesting option, if we could figure out in the correct line, none of these people, I believe, are in the correct line currently, to be clear. But in the correct line, if we could get someone like this, matrilineally, we might be able to get this done. Now, it needs to be, let's see, her opinion of us. That needs to be increased. Okay. That's something we can theoretically do. We are already working on swaying her, and that is perfect. So let's look at our line of succession here. This guy is our current player heir. That's deeply unhelpful for right now. Okay, I think that means that for this current moment, we are not able to put that plan into action. Okay. That's fine. When is the lackluster administration going to expire? In 3 years? Okay. Sounds good. Now, let's look at our own succession here. It's going to be rough. There's no doubt about that. There are these 3 sons. And I would kind of like to get rid of them from the line of succession. How can we go about doing this in the cheapest possible way? Is there any way that we can disinherit these without having to pay the renown cost or the prestige cost? That's the question. I mean, maybe we can just reconquer it again. It wasn't that bad last time, although we did have to rely on our allies, which wasn't helpful. That said, in the next life, we can maybe ally these guys and utilize their military to our own ends. That might be a decent option. Let's take a look at our situations in each of these locations for right now. We do need to get some construction going over here. What I'm really looking for is empty building slots at this point. This guy wants us to help him. I'm going to accept because of our war profiteer that I believe we have, right? Yeah, we've got war profiteer. Let's evaluate if we actually want to help with this, though. That's this guy. And he is attacking. He is going to straight up lose this. Even if we help. It's going to cost us a lot. And I feel like we have very little to gain from helping this. We did manage to increase control over here. Or somewhere, anyway. We increased control. I'm not exactly sure where. We'll spend some prestige on getting some opinion over here for sure. But yeah, I'm not planning on helping in that war. I'm just taking our war profiteer profits and going home. So that will be fine. We are looking for additional things like this. Farms and fields. Absolutely. That absolutely gets farms and fields. And we're going to need to go through once we get all of these filled up and look for locations like these prayer halls. Now, they do help our control growth, but in the long term, I would rather have this be replaced by something else. And we don't have the cash to see what yet. Or do we? Can we look at that? We could look over here, for example. That's a city holding. It would need to be a temple holding like this one. Yeah, we would need the cash to look at it there. Over here, we could look at it. So there's prayer halls in a lot of these right now. And we might want to change those out for hunting grounds, actually. Is this... this county, but it's holder of this holding that gets the men-at-arms maintenance reduction. Okay, so it actually doesn't matter whether it's pastoral lands or hunting grounds. So what I want to look at here is the overall tax level of, not guilds, but rather prayer halls. 1.3 compared to pastoral lands, 1.3. Development growth of 2%, though, compared to that control... Oh, that's guilds. We need to be in here. Compared to the control growth, okay. Yeah, I think we do want to replace the monasteries for the development growth over the control growth. That'll be better for us long term. Don't worry, buddy. We're on our way. We'll get there in like 20 years? Maybe 30. Just hold out until then. You gotta hold out. No, don't fight those. You gotta hold out until we arrive, buddy. I'm beginning to think he's not going to hold out until we arrive. Might have something to do with the fact that we're not going to arrive. He's on his own on that one. He is absolutely on his own there. Well, twin sons is exactly what we needed. Perfect. So, what would she like? She's ambitious, temperate, compassionate. A charismatic negotiator. She has unmatched people skills. Oh, she liked it. Good. Fantastic. Okay, so this war over here, it's not necessarily going the worst, but it's not going the best either. 100 stewardship lifestyle experience? That's not very great odds, but we're going to do it anyway. We're probably not going to succeed. We did succeed! The culture in Jaffna changed to Sinhala. I like it. We're going to grab Airgelt. It's not the best for us right now, but we'll do it. And I think we might grab Detailed Ledgers as well before we start working our way down Architect. We'll see. Who is this? Sure. Okay, we'll do that. So, I don't actually know what I did, but it looked good. It looked good. So we're going to build a construction over here. This will definitely be 100% farms and fields. As soon as we've got the cash, which will be a little while yet. I would still like to attack these guys. Unfortunately, we're not in as good of a financial situation as I had hoped. Hey, look at this. Oh, it is 901. So we are working on our control over here. That is fantastic. Our control here is up to 83, 90, 69, 55, 94. Our control is trending upwards. I'm not going to call it great, but it's on its way. And that's good. We are currently 51. I think we're going to mostly chill this life. We're kind of waiting for our grandson to come of age right now. And we're doing some investments over here. We're about to get an additional development up here. This is still not the best place to work on our development in. But, oh no. He lost his war. I'm so sad. If only we could have been there sooner. Or made some sort of, you know, effort. That might have helped too. Let's go ahead and get some farms and fields going here. Wonderful. We're going to need additional farms and fields in some of these locations and other economic structures in others. Let's take a look at our current situation for our technology. We're going to have mottes and barracks very soon. 6 and 15 years respectively. That is not great on the barracks, if I'm honest. Not great on the barracks at all. But the mottes are doing well. Interesting that our fascination is not doing well at all, but I think it's because of our average development. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay, fair enough. So we are up to... Okay, sure. We'll get some opinion there. That feast is happening here, of course. We are getting some progress towards that 12 monthly income. Unfortunately, that death was a pretty big setback. But our control growth coming up is helping a lot. Like, a whole lot. So let's take a look up here, see if there's anything that we can construct here. Yes, we should build guilds in cities that do not have them. That is kind of a high priority for the growth of development. We have to get that development going ASAP. This city over here is obviously going to have a trade port. And yeah, that's going to be a decent chunk of gold. And that's completely okay. As far as this over here goes, we're not too concerned about these holdings. They can get developed later on, but for right now, we are mostly working on things that directly report to us. We do have extort subjects available, and we are definitely going to do that. It's not a demand, but I do expect gifts. Actually, extorted courtiers for 10 years. So minus 15 opinion, plus 20 dread, 105 gold. Or we could trade prestige for gold. We're going to extort our courtiers. Okay. That money is going directly back into the realm. And that is the reason why we are doing it like this. So, this is a temple holding. I didn't realize temples could build trade ports. Fascinating. We're going to build farms and fields there. Now that I know that temples can build trade ports, for some reason, I just always assumed that that was a city-only structure. But now that we know that, there's one right here. What am I talking about? But now that I know that, regardless, that does kind of change everything. Like, absolutely everything. Fascinating. Castles can build them too. I guess I just never really looked into it. I should have. But, I mean, I'm not going to build castles. Or trade ports in castles. Reason being, we don't really need the development growth and the tax from castles. I would rather have men-at-arms. Or, more specifically, levies from castles. And we can have all of our development come from our outlying holdings. That's completely fine. That does mean that this pastures should get replaced with a trade port. For sure. And we're going to have to evaluate those on our way around. For right now, we are just looking for locations like this with empty slots. Guilds are definitely a thing to build in that city. Excellent. What else might have an empty slot? We're getting close. These two up here have empty slots. This one's got 2. That's going to definitely be a guild there. Okay. And yeah, looks reasonable. This one should, of course, eventually replace the prayer halls with the trade port. Okay, so we're going to grab detailed ledgers. Are we going to grab anything else here, though? I kind of feel like maybe not. That is 2 stewardship and 15 holding taxes. But that's a lot of points for things we don't necessarily care about, when we could go into architect and grab cutting cornerstones and professional workforce instead, as well as centralization. I feel like those are much, much better. We'll put this guy in as our marshal. He's not great at the job, but he'll be okay. Also, we're not getting taxes from this man, and we're going to work on swaying him. Excellent. Unfortunately, we can't currently bribe him, and I wouldn't want to anyway, in all honesty. I would want to put that cash right back into our realm and just invest that. How old is our heir? 12? Okay. I can live with that. I can definitely live with that. So it's mostly just these up here that need work at this point, right? These more northern holdings. The southern holdings are pretty much done-ish. We'll need to evaluate the ones that are coastal, like this one. I think that we'll probably remove... Which one of these? 1.7 per month and 2% development growth versus 1.3 per month and 2% development growth. We'll probably remove the hunting grounds and replace that one with a trade port. That is something that should happen. And in fact, we didn't upgrade this. This was something our vassal did. It's okay, but we'll replace it later on, for sure. But the most important thing right now is that we get all of these building slots working for us. And for this one, we're absolutely putting in a trade port. Excellent. So that, of course, means that we need to work on this city holding here. And everything else, I believe, has every building slot full except for the castles. We're working on the castles later. Yes. So we're going to need to construct twice here. That's okay. What do we want to construct here next? Obviously guilds, followed, I believe, by pastoral lands. 1.3 per month, 1.3 per month, 2% development growth, 2% development growth, and popular opinion, I guess. 225 levies versus... Whoops. 225 levies versus 225 levies. Yeah, I think pastoral lands are the way to go there. This guy's the best spy master, allegedly. Okay, we'll put him in there. I'm not super happy about it, to be sure. Okay. Our control levels are definitely coming up, and that's very, very good to see. 100, 100, 86... 89, 66, 56, and 100. Okay. Yeah, I'm very, very happy to see that. So we are, of course, working on swaying this guy. He now endorses us, so he is giving us 0.5 extra gold per month. That is a very big deal, of course. This guy is a loathsome fiend. We're not surprised by this, of course. And we're going to construct our guilds here just as soon as we can. We need to get that development growth ticking ASAP, and that's one of the reasons why we're focusing so hard on this early on. I'm not too concerned. Who is this guy? Our son? Do we have stress? Not really. We'll just learn a random secret. Okay. So we will construct guilds here, and we want to get this development growth going as soon as we can, so that we can get our development really rolling down here later on. These investments this early are going to pay a lot later on. To the point where we'll be completely comfortable not being on stewardship. We just discovered Mott's, which is a fairly big deal. That, of course, gives us all tribal-era fortification buildings, which allows us to, I believe, upgrade to, well, Mott's, which we already have. Helpful. Okay, so it's currently barracks that are being fascinated. Mustering grounds got exposed to an innovation. That's actually really, really good. So this guy became a thrifty clerk. It's better than it has been. It's not great. I mean, it's better than being an intricate web weaver in this situation, but it's mediocre at best. So at this point, we need to wait for this construction to finish. That's going to be 3 years away. And we also need to make sure that things like this prayer halls, is being changed over into a trade port. That is going to be vitally important for us. This situation here, the monastic schools give 1.3 per month, so we would probably switch this over into a forestry. Let's actually take a look at what that ends up doing. 1.7 per month and 2% development growth. Yes, that is indeed what we would end up doing. Okay, so we have a stewardship perk available. Do we want any of this? I don't think so. I think we just take cutting cornerstones. Fantastic. That'll be a 5% cost reduction for us. However, it doesn't seem to apply if we are building in our vassal holdings. Only if we're building in our own, which isn't exactly the case right now. We're not exactly building in our own holdings. So there is definitely that. So this prayer hall over here... Oh, our wife died. Okay. Sure. I guess that's okay. Can we... Ooh. What happened up here? I like it. Once we get 1,500 gold, this is going to be a fantastic option. However, did I say 1,500 gold? 1,500 prestige. That's going to be a fantastic option. Right now, it's not. But that's definitely going to be interesting. Let's... Right. To replace this, we have to revoke it from this guy, don't we? I think we would. And I don't think we have the ability to revoke titles. No, we do. It's just that this is not within our realm. Right. So let's see here. Hillside Fields, Hunters Lodges, Guild Halls. That should be okay. So situations then like this one. Yeah, so we would need to, in theory, revoke it from this guy. Unfortunately, he is our court chaplain. This is going to be awkward. This guy we'd be able to do. Fantastic. So we would do that, and then we would immediately want to replace these pastures with a trade port. Like that. And then we'd grant this back off to somebody else. Fantastic. We do need a new marshal. It'll be this guy. And we're going to have to do that wherever we can throughout our realm, just to make sure we're optimal. Situations like this, there are actually multiple things that we want to get rid of. The wooden barracks, get rid of it. The prayer halls, also get rid of it. So the question is, how can we manipulate this guy into letting us do that? 65 gold? No, I'm not going to recruit a court physician. We're just going to extort our subjects. 130 gold. 195 gold. Minus 10 opinion? Or minus 10 tyranny opinion? This is so much better. We're going to take that. Excellent. So there's 267 gold. So, at this point, we can start working on some upgrades, yes. Or, this guy has that one as well. This one, I think, is optimal. He has that one, too. This one we may be able to revoke. Yes. Fantastic. So we revoke that, and we are going to ditch... What would we ditch here? Nothing. This is optimal. Yeah, this is optimal. Why did I do that? Okay, well, we're going to do that. And this one here, we absolutely should revoke. Okay. And we would replace, in this case, the hunting grounds with the trade port. And then grant that off. Okay, and now we're going to need another marshal. Okay, that's fine. And we would do something along those lines. Now, this one here, we can't deal with this guy currently. And I do want to actually... He doesn't currently endorse us. Theravada does not have revocable clerical appointment doctrine. Okay. Yeah, that's definitely going to complicate things. Who's his heir? We may just not be able to do anything with this. Like, he leases them out, right? Yeah. So what can we do about that? I don't necessarily want to take it from him. All I want to do is replace this monastic school. Of course, in this case, this one's already optimal. Or mostly optimal. We'd probably want to replace the monastery with something else. But something along those lines. So that's definitely going to be... Oh, we have an empty building slot here. I didn't realize that. This one has to be hunting grounds. Okay, no other option there. As far as this over here goes, we'd have to revoke this from our half-brother here. If we did this, we'd probably end up having to fight. I don't think that that would be an issue, to be clear, but I don't really want to spend the money on that right now. Yeah, I think we're going to have to largely leave these temples as they are and just upgrade them. It's unfortunate, but I don't think we can optimize those any further. So as far as the cities go, our cities should be pretty much already optimal. Just looking around here. Yeah. Our cities are already optimal. So that's great. That's everything optimized that we can for now. The other option is we could convert to another religion, take these back, and then convert back. It would be a bit of a long-term thing, for sure. However, it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode, we are going to continue working on our economy, but look at that. We hit that sweet, sweet 12 gold per month marker that we were aiming for last time, or time before? I can't remember. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.